All right, let's talk about learning guitar. We're going to blow up this idea of natural talent. Because honestly, it's not the real story. The real secret, it's having a system. And trust me, it's not just helpful, it's literally everything. So let's dive in. Have you ever had this dream? You picture yourself shredding on a guitar, but when you actually try, it just feels impossible? Yeah, so many of us have been there. You get the guitar, you're all excited, you try to learn that one song you love, and you just hit a wall. Your fingers feel like they're betraying you, everything sounds kind of clunky, and that dream of being a rock star feels a million miles away. It's such a common story. But the big question is, why does this happen? And here's the brutal, honest truth. Look at this number, 90%. That's how many beginners give up, usually within just the first couple of months. And get this, it's not because they don't have talent. It's not because they don't have passion. It's because they don't have a roadmap. When you don't have a clear path forward, frustration just takes over and, well, it's just easier to quit. So this leads to a really powerful question that One Guitar Method asks its students right at the very beginning. What are you going to do when you feel like quitting? I mean, that's a brilliant question, right? It forces you to think about that moment of peak frustration before it happens. Because let's be real, if you don't have a plan for that feeling, the default plan is pretty much always the same. You're going to stop playing. Okay, so if talent isn't the secret sauce, then what is? Well, it's all about having a system, a structured method that takes all that guesswork and frustration out of the equation and just gives you a clear step-by-step path to actually getting good. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. So many students say their goal is to be able to play guitar. But think about it. That's not really a goal. It's more like a wish. It's way too vague to do anything with. A really good system, a real system, starts by fixing this one basic mistake. And here's what that fix looks like in practice. Look at the difference. On one side, you've got the vague wish. I want to play guitar. Okay, what does that even mean? But on the other side, you have a defined goal. I will learn to play Smoke on the Water at 60 beats per minute. See? It's specific. It's measurable. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, and you'll know for sure when you've actually achieved it. This is how you stop dreaming and start doing. All right, so if a defined goal is your destination on the map, how do you actually get there? What's the car? The engine that drives this whole system is something called deliberate practice. And I'm telling you, it's probably not what you think it is. This is the most important distinction you can make. When you just kind of sit around and noodle on the guitar, maybe strum a few chords you already know, that's playing. It's fun for sure, but it's not making you better. It's not practice. Deliberate practice, that's focused, intentional work. It's picking one tiny thing you suck at, like a really tough chord change or a picking pattern, and working on just that over and over until it gets better. In fact, this method breaks it down into a really simple ratio. 75% of your practice time. That should be the hard stuff, that deliberate skill building. The other 25%, that's your reward. That's when you get to have fun and actually play the songs you love, using the new skills you just worked on. It's a really disciplined way to do it, but man, it builds such a solid foundation. And a good system is packed with little tricks and tools like this. Instead of a teacher just saying, hey, make your chords sound cleaner, which is super vague, it gives you a simple checklist. TFT. Tip of the finger, close to the fret, thumb behind the neck. Boom. It takes this big, fuzzy idea and turns it into 3 simple things you can actually do right now. And you can apply that same logic to the really scary stuff, like learning to read music. I mean, it seems totally overwhelming, right? But a system just breaks it down into manageable chunks. Step 1, just listen. Step 2, forget the notes, just clap the rhythm. Step 3, find the notes on the guitar, don't worry about timing, and only then, at the very end, do you put it all together. It's so logical, and it stops your brain from getting overloaded. Okay, this next part, this is where it all clicks into place. We've talked about what to practice and how to practice it, but now we're going to look at the cold, hard math, the simple equation that connects what you do every day to where you'll be in 10 years. And here it is. This table is such a reality check. I mean, look at this. You practice for 5 minutes a day,
odds are you're going to give up. But just bump that up to 10 minutes, just 10, of deliberate practice every day. Over 10 years, that's 600 hours. You'll be a solid novice. 40 minutes a day, you could be a teacher. And that mythical 10,000 hours to become an elite, world-class player, well, that's almost 3 hours every single day for a decade. It's not magic, folks. It's just math.
And if you look at it visually, it becomes so clear. The jump from being a novice to being an elite player isn't a small hop. It's a massive leap in terms of hours put in. But you know what's so cool about this? It shows that the path is exactly the same for everybody. It has nothing to do with talent. It's all about time and consistency. That's it. But okay, let's be real for a second. Knowing the math is one thing. Actually doing it day in and day out when it gets boring and hard, that's another thing entirely. So the final piece of this whole puzzle is the most human part. How in the world do you stay motivated when the grind really starts to grind? Well, guess what? A good system has a plan for that too. It's not about just sitting around and waiting for inspiration to hit you. No, it's about actively going out and creating it. You gotta surround yourself with the music you love. Go to shows, listen to albums. Grab a friend to learn with you so you can hold each other accountable. And this is a big one. Track your progress. Seriously, when you see that metronome speed ticking up, even just a tiny bit, that's real, hard proof that what you're doing is actually working. So when you boil it all down, the secret to getting good at guitar isn't some magic gift you're born with. It's way simpler than that. It's patience, persistence, and just following the method. That's the formula. And it's right there for anyone who's willing to trust the process. So I want to leave you with this final question. Think of it this way. Inspiration is the fuel, but the system is the engine. You need both. So who is it for you? Who's that one player that makes you want to pick up a guitar and just play? Figure out who that is, go listen to their music, and then find a system and start your own journey. So I'll ask you, who's the first hero on your list?